Welcome back to Talktruly. I am here with Erin Bollinger. I just almost fumbled your name. What a great way to start a podcast. And if you have an on-demand assistant service in the name of it,
it's called Follow the Signs.
All of the signs. You don't have to lean into that.
Sorry. This is my first podcast.
It's your first, that's okay though. Follow the signs.
Yes.
That is amazing. So tell me, what did you do before Follow the Signs? Because I want to know the background of everything.
Okay, Ed. So first off, thanks so much for having me here today. I greatly appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come and talk about Follow the Signs. I got here through working in real estate. I've only been in real estate for about 5 years, but beyond that, I have about 20 years in commercial lending, in residential construction, in banking, in private banking, and government project managing. So I decided after COVID hit to go full-time real estate. And when I was full-time real estate, I was working for a very fast-paced new realtor around town that is crushing it. He's still crushing it to this day. And I was hired to be his director of operations. And it was a very brief stint there because it was drinking from a constant fire hose all day long. And I could never really get in front of the task. So as I was there producing for him, I was visually feeling and seeing all of the gaps in just a day-to-day that can happen for just somebody that's in real estate. So I came up with Follow the Signs one afternoon, and basically it is an on-demand real estate assistant service for realtors that may not have a team or developers that may need assistance but not want to hire a full-time realtor for their developments, or just somebody that gets overloaded in their schedule and needs somebody to go open a door for a structural engineer and take notes for them, or to make sure that all of their signs are up for their open house that weekend. So I fill the gaps on that front end of the real estate world in many different ways.
And then wow. So how did you come up with the name Follow the Signs?
Well, when you're hitting midlife and you start having these powerful, what am I going to be when I grow up? I've done so many different things. You just sometimes have to look inside and find your faith and find your own grounding and follow the signs. So the signs were that I wasn't supposed to be in that role as a director of operations for that realtor. The signs was that I was supposed to expand my own real estate business and to create Follow the Signs, which assist all realtors in North Georgia, in Tennessee, and soon to be Alabama. We just make sure that we keep all of our staff as licensed realtors in those states so we can service you according to rules and regulations.
Oh, well, that goes big in real estate, I imagine.
Yes.
So I've seen posts from you on your social media of little things that you've done, gift baskets, and what do you have the most fun in? I can imagine this is. You're not doing it because, you're doing it because you're having fun.
Yes. So the fun is actually in the gifting, Ed. So a big part of Follow the Signs is my gifting. And what that is I can do pizzas if a deal falls through for your client with a personalized card from you that we're going to get that next house. Or I can get a local gift basket to your closing before your closing with a card from you that's personalized, that's all local gifts. And I use all female or minority-owned products in Chattanooga. So it's a big selling point for Follow the Signs because I'm very community focused. So I really want all of the products that I give to new residents of Chattanooga to reflect Chattanooga as what it is. So I go to all the different areas of town and I make sure that my baskets have the best products and that there's a story which with each vendor that I use and their fabric and how they are a part of Chattanooga. So I'm big on the gifting. It's not really big on my the monetary side for me. It's more almost like a volunteer service because there's not much markup I can do on a local product because you got to think about all the hands that have to pass through that to begin with.
There, yeah.
But it is my heart that piece of it goes out into the community. So these products are represented as they should be.
Well, give me an example of some of the local businesses that you use. Give them a shout out. I'd love for everybody to know them as well.
Okay, so the first one I use is the skincare and soap product. It's Destinée from Earth to Skin. She has formulated organic skin oils, organic face scrubs, soaps, aromatics. She does everything. And so she's pretty popular. She actually had a booth at Hamilton Place for a while, but she has come back she is at the studios at High 58 now. And you can buy her product online, but everybody loves her product. It's perfect. The next one I use a lot of is the Pancake Bakery. Miss Renita Johnson and her husband, Chef Lamont, have been staples of Chattanooga for
forever. Yeah,
forever.
I actually got to go visit
Yes.
the bakery, you know.
Yes.
I've had some of her stuff before. It's amazing.
Yes. And I think you questioned Chef Lamont on the base of his, what was
his gumbo.
His gumbo.
You know, well, you see, if people who know me, I'm Cajun.
Yes.
You know, I'm from Chattanooga now. I've been in Chattanooga for God knows how long, over 30 years. But I was born and raised Cajun. So a lot of people don't realize that's a big deal. Cajuns will turn their back on you if you're cooking something wrong. You know, I recently went to a crawfish ball that had some gumbo, and the guy who cooked it, when he saw me, he put his head down and he goes, and then rice. You know, he goes, Ed, you're never going to let me live this down. I'm going like, I was just laughing because it's so true. That's how Cajun people are. So whenever he was talking about gumbo, I'm going like, oh, gumbo, okay. My father was a chef for like 36 years. Mm-hmm. And, everyone in Louisiana, we all cook. So it was more like, well, what do you put in this? What do you put in that? Oh, okay. You're passing.
Yeah, he's the best. So Ronita and Lamont, they both have their own specialties, and she's the baker, and he does preserves, and he does canning and jellies, and then of course he does all of his main dishes as well. So I like to stick that in the baskets. I also do selective selections by She. It's a natural waxed soybean candle. I hope I'm saying that right to her. But she has formulated a scent for my business. It's called the Chateau Glow. And we have our own candle at Follow the Signs, and we put one of those in the baskets. We do a lot of different local things. We also use Sweetbriar Vegan. All of her chocolates are vegan, and she is a little business out of Highland Park. And, we keep it going. We use our tea from the Bohemian Village. Silas over off Glass Street is doing great things over there. So we use a lot of his teas, and we put like some cups in there. Whatever the client actually, who they are is where it is. So I ask a realtor if they're interested in me gifting for them. What is their client like? Do they have animals? Do they have kids? Do they have outdoor activities that they like? So we can make sure that we cater their closing gifts to that family.
Wow. So it's really, really personalized.
Very personalized.
So, what kind of, what's your favorite basket that you've made so far? So I'm sure there's combos of everything.
Sure. I like my Christmas baskets the best. I've had several realtors that will just send me a list of their, top clients of the year, and I will curate a gift basket based on your budget, and I will deliver it to their door. I'll tell you the day, and I'll let you know what time, and I'll send you an email after that it's been delivered so you can follow up and thank them again for, being a client for you. So I don't really have a favorite gift basket, Ed. I just really like gifting. I think it's just so important in the community, and it's also really big in real estate in all ways, from the front end, from a land developer, all the way to the end to a realtor and a title agent. Gifting and sharing amongst that is just really important. So I really like for clients when they get in their houses to see things that are really the fabric of Chattanooga and use them.
Well, I can imagine when all the people from out of state moving into Chattanooga, giving them a taste of Chattanooga is a big deal. And then everything that you listed it's local flavor. And, and then I could just about imagine when you're making such a big purpose, the gifting is a big deal. It's those little things that just making Follow the Signs sounds like a company that is dotting the I's and crossing the T's when you're so busy that you can't.
Exactly.
You're getting everything that everyone's missing.
Yes. And speaking of missing, I feel like a lot of realtors are sleeping on my open house service. One of the things that I do that I really enjoy doing is personalizing your open house, because a lot of business that I've personally gained as a realtor outside of Follow Signs is from people coming into another person's open house and me hosting that. So I learned in my business that I can gain new clients from those people that aren't being represented, that are just walking in on a Saturday or Sunday to see a house, just getting their feels. That's when a realtor can really, hone in on a new client and make them theirs. So what I like to do at open houses is really specialize and personalize the experience towards the realtor that is doing the open house. So I will do personalized like water bottle labels, and I will do a plate of Pancake Bakery cinnamon rolls if you're having a morning open house. If you're doing like an 11 to 1 open house because you're busy and you're hustling and you have 2 open houses that day, go ahead and serve some mimosas in the morning. And let's go ahead and just do like a local Bohemian Village fresh orange juice as the topper in your little mimosas. And let's go ahead and have a little fresh Pancake Bakery, hot cinnamon roll. And I also lay a story out in the kitchen. So you're not only talking about the house around you, but you're also creating a relationship, which real estate is relationships. So when you're in the kitchen and you've provided a nice little extra, way to be remembered, it's a nice little step. So I will deliver this package to you 45 minutes before an open house, Ed. Any realtor. My company will come and deliver it. It'll be in a cute little Follow the Signs basket. It will have everything that you've sent me on digital files. It'll be your face. It'll be your sign-in sheet. It might even have a QR code if you want me to go ahead and link that for you. It'll be a whole marketing package for you up front, plus a little snacky snack for your guests.
So if a realtor is busy and they have multiple open houses, that's probably one of the best way to do it. Just call Erin. She'll come in. Do you set everything up as well?
I can set up and I put your signs up. Do you want me to get balloons and put on your signs? I'll do that too.
Wow.
It's not great for the environment, but it is, people do catch them. They're catching.
It brings attention.
Right.
So all they have to do is show up.
Yeah, to their open house. And it is their open house. When I come as Follow the Signs, I do not come as a realtor that I also am in my own business. We support you for who you are. So that's what I like about Follow the Signs is you will never be confused as to who is assisting you. It will always be for you, because that's what we're here. We're here to help you elevate your business too, because we see those gaps in the front end. And if you get 3 new clients on a week, it's really kind of hard to onboard them without a team. It's absolutely impossible sometimes, really. It depends on the level of client you have too. So you can call Follow the Signs on your easier clients, or if you already have your open houses for the weekend, just call me and tell me if you want package 1 or 2 of open house. And do you want it to serve 10 to 20? because that's the normal average of an open house. If your house is priced right, you're normally going to have between 5 to 10 couples. So I usually prepare for 10 to 20 people.
Oh, wow. So, you know, for me, if I was a realtor,
Sure.
well, let me dial this back a different. If I was buying a house and I walked into an open house and the realtor who was hosting it was actually talking to me, not being frantic and putting everything and refilling everything and doing everything, and had someone like you doing that to me, that's impressive. That's prepared.
Mm-hmm.
That's showing that, look, I came here to do business. You're here to do business with me, not refill the tray.
Exactly.
And then that's a big deal. And I think you're right. I think that realtors would be wise, to take on a service like that, because it's just makes everything a lot easier, doesn't it?
Yes. That's what I'm here for. I really just wanted to ease that front end of real estate with those hardworking realtors out there that just need just a little more time in their schedule.
You speak the language.
Yes.
And, you know everything that a realtor goes through. When they walk in the door, what has to happen, what needs to happen, so you speak the language. You're just going to take all the burdens off of them.
Yes.
So now the signage, is it something that you provide, or you just take their signage, or do you have like packages that you have like, signs? Please tell me more.
Yeah, both. I have both actually. So I can come pick up your signs. I can store your signs. Those signs are always hanging out in the realtor offices, and they're just like everywhere.
Just leaning up against the wall.
Yeah, like you just came in, you were on a call, you threw them against the wall, and then you had an appointment. So let me get rid of those signs for you. Let me organize them for you. I have a great little storage center. I just keep them all. They're all yours. I don't share them with other clients. I can install them for you. I can pick them up. If they're damaged or dirty, I will let you know. It's just, the signs need to be out. We don't celebrate enough in Chattanooga when something's pending or under contract or sold. And I feel like that is because we're so busy. So if you order a sign installation package from me and my team, we will be out there. We will let people know that this property is under contract, and we will let people know that it is sold, if you so choose. And also, we also work with for sale by owners. That's also another thing that we do a lot of. Is
AKA FSBO.
the FSBOs. I'm not out there soliciting to them, but they've actually called when they decide to open their doors on a Saturday and have something that, they don't know what they're really doing, but that's actually become quite an opportunity for turning those FSBOs into actual clients. But that's not always the intent. The intent is still just to go out and help you for whatever your budget can afford to be helped at.
Well, you hit the nail right on the head right there. That's not the intent. No one wants to be talking to a salesperson. Exactly. They don't want someone to walk in there going like, hey, what can I do to get you in this house today? They come in, they fit, the word of the year is vibe.
Mm-hmm.
What's the word of the decade? I should say is vibe. They want to vibe with you.
Yeah.
And if they vibe with you, they're going like, hey, how about this? How about that? And then once you educate people, it's kind of like, okay, you know what you're doing. I feel comfortable with you and trusting you. It's not sales. It's like going through a sales cycle. To me, that's the best way to do it. Just be yourself.
Right.
Do your thing. Now, if you're looking at packages like for all the signs, if somebody said, okay, sounds great, but I'm a new agent. I can't, do you have packages that are, just bare minimum, or then you have the ones that are just blow them out the water, like bring in the caviar, do everything.
Yeah. So we do actually do 3 different tiers of monthly memberships. They're pretty affordable for a team, and they come with a different amount of services. So, the lower amount of service, I'm going to install your signs at between 3 and 5 houses a month, and I'm going to provide you 1 open house package, breakfast or afternoon. Alcohol may be extra, just depending on what we're talking about. I also do larger packages that include me showing up and taking all the notes and maybe even FaceTiming you live or recording everything when I've met with, a contractor or someone, just to make sure that everything about your client is protected by you and for you, but handled by Follow the Signs.
Oh, what a great touch. You know, you go make a delivery and you have them on FaceTime and they're thanking them right there. That's actually, that's a beautiful touch.
Exactly. Or you're out of town and something falls through, and this family was in love with that house, and it's going to be a minute before they pick themselves up and come back out and look at our market. Like, let's send them something, like, and I will deliver it with your sentiments. It's important. The community and just staying in touch with your clients and vibing with them is where it's at.
Well, what's the average time between someone going to open house and then making a decision? I know you can never put a time on it, you know, because everybody's lives are different, you know, but, you know, I'm sure that over the years you've seen like, oh, usually typically.
I'm falling on the trend of we're just looking, and then I'm going along with that speed, and then they're really actually wanting more than that. They're actually ready. They're actually ready to meet with a lender. They're actually ready to make a decision. They really don't want to wait. Like right now, I have a brand new client who we just want to look at a couple houses now, and then we're going to really hone in August or September and make our decision. Well, I advise them to go to a couple open houses now, you know, to get their feet wet on what the open houses look like. I'm happy to attend, happy to show them whatever. Well, one open house in and they were hooked. They were ready to buy. So here we are on their timeline. It's way different now. And I mean, that's what I find a lot from my open house clients.
Because they're reviving with you.
Yeah.
And, you know, they felt comfortable. You have a passion in what you do. And then which is also paired with open honesty. And people, that's what people want now. They do not want to see the fancy bathroom that's, you know, they'll all be sold just on one room.
Yeah.
Because that's where they're spending their lives. Yeah. When they wake up in the morning, they got to do that every day. So and then they want to know that, okay, this whole home, this is a home. It's not a house.
Yeah.
And there's a big difference. And I think what you're doing, that personal touch, you know, especially for, you know, the fact that you do it for, you know, other realtors, this is a service you provide. One, you know, you have knowledge of what's going to make them look good. Two, you have the commitment to lift their product up to the best for their client. It's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, what I don't know the cost. I don't know the factor or anything, but I tell you what, if I'm producing one home a month or whatever, and I have someone that might help me get two.
Sure.
Not saying it's going to happen, but if you could help me get two, my gosh, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Well, if you're selling a $350,000 house and maybe you budget $500 for marketing, which includes pictures, or you don't need money for staging or whatever, and that $500, you know, you could maybe make a little open house budget inside that $500 of photography, so I can wow everybody, and you know, we'll do the marketing for it. We'll do everything that you need us to do for it, and we'll talk about a week before. I'll get your headshots. I'll get your information. You will have it in a draft form at least 48 hours before the actual open house, so you can just really make sure that that personalized information is yours. And then it's going to be in a cute little bag on the porch, unless you want for setup, which I'll set up for about $20. I mean, it's not horrible and it doesn't take much time, but it's also fun to set it up yourself. Now, if you're running in last minute, sure, I'm absolutely going to set it up for you. But if you're a new realtor and, you know, this is like, you're so excited about your open house, like, come in and unpack what I've put out for you, and you will enjoy it. It is great.
I can imagine, you know, what it sounds like. You are the wrapping paper on the house. You know, you want them to pull that bow, and if you make that present look beautiful, it makes the house look beautiful. Somebody could take a rock and wrap it beautifully, and it's like the most beautiful rock ever. It was a wrapping paper.
Yeah,
that's
right.
That's what you are. Now, if somebody was trying to get in touch with you,
yes,
how would they do it?
Well, I'm building an app because realtors really like that on-demand ordering. But right now, you can call me or you can go on my website. It has an ordering page. It's www.followthesignsrealty.com. I have all of my services listed out there, and I have right now my summer and basic gifting packages. It's all out there for you. And yeah.
Are you on Facebook as well?
I'm on Facebook, Follow the Signs CHA, CHALLC, and I'm also on Instagram, Follow the Signs Realty. I'm out there on the social media. I probably should leverage a little more and get on the TikTok and things like that. The TikTok, that's what I like to say because it makes my 12-year-old cringe. So I like to make sure that I pronoun the TikTok. But yeah, I am really excited about this. It's a baby business still, so I would love some more local support from you realtors that are starting out. And also, I'm always hiring new realtors. I love meeting with realtors and discussing how they can be a part of the 1099 Follow the Signs crew. And we can get together and make it happen.
This has the potential to be a regional hit, if not a national hit, doing, what you're doing, because
I would love to trademark this idea and plug it into larger places. I'm not going to lie. I mean, that's the actual goal of it. But right now I need just a little more buy-in from realtors, and it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
The idea is amazing. Honestly think that if anyone's invested in their own success, putting that leverage, putting it out there, having someone doing some of the heavy lifting is a big deal, because that's what you're offering.
Yes.
Because as a realtor, as you know, you're wearing so many hats. I mean, never in the world did you think that you would become an expert on roofs or plumbing or anything like that. But you've seen it so many times that, it just all comes into it. Somebody will come up to you and you'll be like, blah, 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 blah. And they're going like, how do you know that? Well, I'm a realtor.
Yes.
I've come to respect that out of so many realtors, and they, people approach them going like, hey, like a salesperson. They're going like, cut it. I know what needs to be done. I need this. Do it.
Yeah.
And that's what you've done. What's the pain of being a realtor and being in a rush. And a lot of times on the weekends, the quality time is your time. So you're giving it back to the realtor.
Yes.
Well, thank you again, Erin. I really appreciate it. Thank you for coming on Talktruly. It's really been a pleasure learning more about it. And, honestly think, this is going to be on TikTok as well. So you don't have to worry about it being on TikTok.
The TikTok.
Okay. Thank you again for joining us for Talktruly. And we'll be doing podcasts every week, adding 3 to 4 podcasts every week. It'll be on our YouTube channel, talktruly.com. And also, if you go to TikTok, it'll be there as well on social media. Have a great day.